Welcome back to the channel. We got Democrats humiliated. CNN calls out lies to her face. Timcast video. The link to the video is down in the description. Hit that like button down below if you enjoy the video. Bleh. I just tried to say every single word at the same time, but also smash that subscribe button while you're down there too. Really helps out the channel. And we're going to get right into things.
Jasmine Crockett recently made statements on the House floor about Republicans taking money from someone named Jeffrey Epstein. If ever there was a moment to help explain who Jasmine Crockett is and why there are so many individuals that used to be liberals now voting for Republicans, this is it. So I will start this video light and just say, please share this with Democrat or liberal individuals you know. And if you are a Democrat or liberal, I ask that you simply listen to a report from CNN. Recently, Bill Maher had a conversation with Patton Oswalt. And Bill Maher, I love Bill Maher. Fantastic.
Bill Maher, he's had one little dinner day with Trump, and all of a sudden, he had the realization everything I've been told about this guy was wrong. And he immediately was like, yeah, I took him the list of things he said about my show and about me, and I had him sign that list, which was fucking great.
Many of these stories do not make it through the blue sky bubble. Now, I know there are many liberals and Democrats that know this and don't care. But I do know that many of you, when given correct information, are smart and will make the right choice. So I ask everybody watching again, please share this video with someone you know that is liberal leaning or Democrat. This is not to say that you have to change your politics, your policy views, and by no means must you like who Donald Trump is. By all means, please continue to criticize him. However, as long as you are aware of the state of politics in this country on all sides, whatever it may be, then I think we can come to negotiating things that will make the country better and solutions we're looking for. I think it's fair to say everyone's got good reason to basically hate both political parties. Even the Daily Beast is reporting that says Jasmine Crockett's humiliating Epstein blunder. Well, I want to play this clip from CNN for you so you can understand where
this one's funny.
Jasmine Crockett thinks.
This one's so funny.
One Democrat who's been on defense over Jeffrey Epstein is Stacey Plaskett. She represents the Virgin Islands. She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
But let's pause real quick to give a shout out to today's sponsor, pdxdebt.com/Timcast.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who.
Yeah, an unfortunate similar name for that doctor there. However, at least he can put doctor in front of his name and get a different thing. He probably should have for the donation. If he did, then Jasmine Crockett intentionally excluded it, which is even worse. But we're gonna go out on a limb and give her that one singular little bit of, hey, you had your staff look into it and they just saw Jeff Epstein and jumped at it. They didn't even realize what they were going for. They didn't even realize it was a different Epstein.
Into a campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people that
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand when you make
but it was heavily insinuating that that's the one you meant.
Donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say,
if I really wanted to, I could probably pull up
Jeffrey Epstein.
Several different clips of her lying.
Donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. What? Now, have I dug in to find out?
You were trying to mislead them with the wrong Epstein, like you idiot.
Is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody.
Yes, you were.
I literally had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
If you didn't have enough time to do the research, you don't include it. Simple. You don't have all the facts, so all of a sudden, something like this doesn't have to come back around and stab you in the ass.
Yeah, but people might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
a registered sex offender.
You did try to make it that way.
When you search FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do, I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the
Yep, your team should have done the homework.
20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC.
That's not true, because your address is also listed in these FEC records.
Oh, how about that?
Now listen.
What a liar.
To our Democrat friends.
How about that? We just caught her lying right there.
What she just did, that is even being called out, and you would choose to ignore this. Well, then I don't think there's any point in us talking, because your interests are not in what's better for this country or electing sound leaders, though it is very hard to do, don't get me wrong. I think anybody who heard what she just did should understand she's lying. She said, here are some people who took money from someone named Jeffrey Epstein. She knew what she was doing, and she knew that most of you would not see this. You'd simply get a clip or a headline, and they'd say, Jasmine Crockett roast Republicans for taking money from Epstein. And who is Epstein? Well, I think actually...
Well, he's a doctor. Oops.
Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, the Long Island neurosurgeon Jasmine Crockett, confused with notorious pedophile, floats epic revenge he could exact on the Congresswoman. Yeah, he said he took money. Not the craziest of revenge to give her money, but the point is
now Jeffrey Epstein don't have
on her record as well.
Which, hilariously, she has the actual Epstein in some of her donations. He donated to her political campaign. He donated to almost all Democrats, but it was 90% or 89% Democrats. 89% of his political donations went to Democrats, which is insane that so many Dems were like, oh, Trump in the files with the Republicans, but it's the Republicans in there. But why are they blocking it? They're not letting you see it, when they had them in their possession for way long enough to have released.
If that's the game she wants to play. Now, I don't think she confused him at all. When you look at the FEC records and you can see that they're clearly different individuals, I think it was patently obvious Jasmine Crockett was framing this in such a way so that people who don't pay attention would believe Jeffrey Epstein had funded prominent Republican personalities and politicians.
100%.
Maybe he did, but this was a lie. And that's why you can hear it when she says, taking money from someone named Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, she knew it right there.
This video, what there is.
So, number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein, because I knew that we would need more time to really dig in.
Is that better? Is that better, though? Oh, I had to make sure just the name Jeffrey Epstein was there. I didn't have to know if it was the right one. Like, I just had to make sure it was there. Like, no, you do your due diligence. I really think that we need to start punishing people for blatantly lying about stuff like this. I don't know how we punish them for anything like that, but there needs to be something. Take a page out of the French and get a guillotine? Okay, that's a little too harsh.
Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're all talking about.
Indeed, she was.
You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. You know, we pressed the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees. Correct. But why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking to co-defendants. They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there. And honestly, we knew, or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is, why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended up with some of his convictions?
Okay,
Lord
she's just...
Epstein hated Trump.
Yeah.
He was helping Stacey Plaskett question Michael Cohen.
Yeah. Epstein hated Trump. He was hell-bent on trying to get something against Trump to make sure he didn't become president. Because after he became president, Epstein arrested. Epstein indicted. Epstein proven to be a pedophile. Oopsie! Like, then Democrats had those files, the complete ones after the investigation had finished, for years, and they did nothing with them but sit on their ass and stuff them up there.
Had provided her with information that she could use to go after Donald Trump. And we have this from Business Insider to add to the mix. Maximum amounts allowed. How Jeffrey Epstein's political donations won him and his pedophile island a powerful ally.
Yeah.
That's right. Jeffrey Epstein was providing funding to Plaskett. She was doing what he wanted her to do. So when she's in a hearing with Michael Cohen and she is asking questions of Michael Cohen that is going to help create a criminal case against Donald Trump, I can't say that I'm surprised. And I can't say that I'm surprised to see Democrats defending Plaskett. Now, by all means, release the Epstein files. Trump never should have called it a hoax.
Let's get them all out
there. They should
there.
have been released from day one. We get it.
Excuse me. Trump calling them a hoax. I think he 100% worded it very poorly, but I think when he said it's a Democrat hoax, he meant his name being involved in a pedophile way in the files is the hoax part. Not that their existence at all. I think he's 100% knowledgeable about the existence of this large file of everything related to Jeffrey Epstein and the pedophile sex trafficking island. But other than that, he's like, yeah, I know I'm not involved because I know I'm not involved. And because, well, if you look at the other evidence, he banned him from Mar-a-Lago. He kicked him out. They stopped interacting with each other. Trump helped the FBI bring him down. Like, for real, they may have been friendly to each other at one point, but I would not have ever called them friends.
I think most of the damning evidence has been destroyed at this point. But what we're dealing with is something that runs deep in every direction. I think you'll find that there are prominent pro-Republican personalities wrapped up in whatever Epstein was doing. He was a rich guy with $500 million, and people wanted his money. Stacey Plaskett was the delegate from the Virgin Islands. It means she's on committees in Congress, but she doesn't vote when it comes to the floor. She needed $250,000, and Jeffrey Epstein could easily cough up that $30K. And so what happens? We know that politicians are bought and paid for.
Yep,
so when you
always
got the rep from the Virgin Islands, to be fair, delegate, she doesn't vote, and Jeffrey Epstein wants influence, he buys her. The same is true for every major corporation. So let's not play any games or mince any words. Big corporations buy politicians all the same. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and the National Republican Campaign Committee, I believe that's what it's called, the NRCC and the DCCC require members of Congress fundraise on their behalf so they have a national war chest to get individuals elected. When you come into Congress, they tell you, you have a target, you have to get us this money. In this instance, they told Stacey Plaskett $250,000. Isn't that kind of crazy? That's how it works. And so we end up
a little bit, yeah.
Matt Gaetz. He tells us,
how do you give people a target of money that they have to get for your organization? Why don't you just ask for whatever you can get, and then you make do with what you get? Like, if you're a business selling a product, it's not like you can just all of a sudden, I mean, you can try. I don't know how successful it'll be, but you can't just ask for more money from people. It probably will not work. And, say you're like, oh, I'll try a different route. I'm going to sell you this product, and then I'm going to tell you you have to pay me again later. Like, other than a subscription service, that don't make no sense.
This story where he walks in and after getting elected, and they say, we need or what do they say? We want $250,000.
$250,000.
And so Matt Gaetz says, what will I get it if I give you $500,000? They promise him committees. He'll be able to introduce certain bills and bring them to the floor. That's the way the game is played. It's the way the game has always been played. And so here we are. Stacey Plaskett, implicated directly, helping build a case against Donald Trump with advice from Jeffrey Epstein, nay, direction. And Jasmine Crockett lying out through her teeth. Amazing, isn't it? So what can I say? If this isn't convincing to you, or at least making you question where you are, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you didn't actually care about what was best for this country. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button, share the show.
Exactly. Do all the things, the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Maybe share a video you want me to react to next. Jasmine IQ is such a low IQ individual. I have no idea how her education has cost almost $1 million and that she has made it to where she is today and sounds as stupid as she sounds today. Anyways, I'm getting a little heated from this one. I'm going to leave it here. Enjoy your rest of your day, and I will see you back tomorrow.